Hello, good morning, children. In the previous class, we learned about means of communication. So nowadays, there are different ways to communicate to each other. So mainly we use for the communication letters, telephone, fax machine, newspaper, radio, television, computer, etc. Great. So all these are the different means of communication. So today we are going to learn about our values. Page number 100. We should always be polite while communicating with people. So when we talk with people or when we write something to people, we should be very polite. Our language or our way of behaving or our talking should be very polite and also should be very humble enough. How should we behave when we are writing to people or speaking to them? How should we behave to them? So we should speak softly, don't argue or don't get any angry. So very softly we have to behave with people when we write or when we speak with them. Then next, let's remember, we communicate with each other in many ways. We can communicate with people with the help of postcards, letters, cards, etc. A telephone is one of the fastest means of communication. So nowadays, mostly people use telephone or cell phone rather than postcards or letters. So letters, postcards and all we used before, many years back. But nowadays, we use telephone. A newspaper is the cheapest means of communication. So through newspaper we get news, important news of the whole world, and also it is very cheapest. The next, a computer helps us to connect and communicate all over the world through the internet. A computer helps us to connect and communicate with people all over the world through the internet. The next keywords. Post. The system of sending or receiving letters. Post means the system of sending or receiving letters. Instantly. Instantly means at once or immediately. The next, internet. A very large network of computers that are connected to each other. It helps you to find information from around the world on your computer and send messages to other computers. The next exercise. The first exercise, match the rows. Mobile phone. The first one is mobile phone. The answer is messages. So through mobile phone, we can send messages. The next one is newspaper. The answer is A, news on paper. The next one is radio. The answer is only here. So through radio we can only hear. The next one is television. The answer is hear and see. So through television we can see and hear. The next one is computer. The answer is internet. The next bit, fill in the blanks with suitable words. First one. In olden days, people used dash to send messages. Two options are there, pigeons, ducks. Yes, the answer is pigeons. The next is our letters. Two options are there, postman, milkman. The answer is postman. Then third question, a dash is one of the fastest means of communication? Options: letter, telephone. Yes, the answer is telephone. The next question. A mobile phone is also known as a dash. Two options: cell phone, fax. The answer is cell phone. The next question. A dash is the cheapest way to communicate. Options: letter, newspaper. The answer is newspaper. The next, answer the following questions. The first question is, what is communication? When we talk or write to someone is known as communication. When we talk or write to someone is known as communication. The next, name any 5 common means of communication used today. Say children, you know the answer now. Now you can see. Mobile phone, television, computer, newspaper, telephone, etc. The next question, how does a fax machine help us communicate? A fax machine is used to instantly send a copy of a letter to another fax machine connected through a telephone line. The next question, what is the difference between communication through a newspaper and communication through a television? So here difference between communication through a newspaper and communication through a television. So we can only read everything that is happening around us in the world. So through newspaper we can only read, but communication through a television we can see and hear what is happening around the world. So when we use television we can see and hear, but to the newspaper we can only read. That is the difference. Then think and answer. Which means of communication do you use often to send messages to your friends? So mostly we use mobile phone, isn't it? Or the mobile phone we use to talk or we send messages. The next, what is the cheapest way for a person to know what is happening in the world if he does not know how to read and write? So the best example is radio. But nowadays we can't see radio, isn't it? Most of the people, they don't have radio nowadays. But in olden days, in every home we can see radio. At that time, television was not there. But now, television replaced radio. So here, radio is the cheapest way for a person to know what is happening in the world. But now we can say television also. Okay, children. The next page, problem solving and life skills, unit 4. 3 chapters are given here, chapter 17, chapter 18 and chapter 19. So chapter 17, Shreya is facing the rising sun. There is a house on her right and a tree on her left, and a flower bed is behind her. So 4 questions are given here based on this picture. The first question is, in which direction is the tree? So it is north. The next, in which direction is her house? It is south. The next, in which direction is Shreya facing? We already, it is there in the question. She is facing the rising sun. So we know sun rises in the east. So Shreya facing east side. The next question, in which direction is the flower bud? It is west. Chapter 18, first question, which of the vehicles in the picture given here is the fastest? The answer is aeroplane. The next, which of the vehicles in the picture would be the slowest? The answer is robot. The next, which of these vehicles would be good for the environment? The answer is robot. Then chapter 19. Which of these is used to communicate in the picture? So based on the picture question. Answer is newspaper and television. The next question. What is the cheapest means of communication? So the answer is newspaper. The next question. Yash feels communicating through the television is better for trees rather than the newspaper. Do you agree? Why? So here a boy named Yash. What he feels? He feels that communicating through the television is better for trees rather than the newspaper. Why? Do you agree? What is your opinion, children? What's your answer? Yes, because trees are also able to hear, see, or talk. So, but they can't read. So, if you give newspaper, there's no use because they are not able to read. So, we can communicate them through television so that trees are able to hear or even they are able to see. Isn't it? So, here, children, this chapter is over and this unit also, fourth unit also over. Now, what you should do? You have to read the textbook. So, reading is very, very important. At least minimum 5 times. Read the textbook and learn the spellings. So, many hard words are there in this chapter. Learn the spellings. I will conduct test anytime. So, read the lesson 5 times. Learn the spellings and also exercises. Match the following, fill in the blanks, answer the following. All that you learn. I will send the notes. You write by yourself. Don't allow your parents or elders to write. Write neatly and correctly without any mistake. Okay, children. Thank you.